Switch this.
No, Alan, I think that the music last time didn't work, remember? The audio?
Oh, right.
So for your,
Tell them what's new.
So we get beard and audio?
you can hear his beard.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Alan Wagner. I'm the writer-director of Coal. Unfortunately, our director, Josh, is away, so couldn't make it today. Basically, Coal is a game about coal. It is a 2D action-adventure art game that we're developing for Android and iOS. And it's a dark comedy. And the basic premise is that you play this little alien clone slave guy whose job it is to shovel coal into this big furnace that powers a spaceship. But and the game starts out just as a coal shoveling simulating game. But as you can see, you'll be able to disobey the game's instructions and escape your slave life and then have a really big adventure. So we go on. So the tone that we're kind of shooting for this game is sort of a like a Coen Brothers meets Adventure Time kind of style. That really dry darkness of Coen Brothers, and then sort of the whimsical craziness of Adventure Time. And as far as gameplay goes, this is a game where you're doing a lot of complex acrobatic movements, kind of by swiping your finger to explore areas and to fight enemies. So it's sort of a mix between Prince of Persia and Fruit Ninja and Ninja Gaiden. So these are 5 very different things. How could we possibly put these all into one game that feels like one game? Well, I want to show you a bit of footage from our prototype. This is a very, very early version of the game. All this art has either been redone or is going to be redone, but you can go ahead and play it. So, it starts out like this. This is the introduction to the game. So the game takes place on the SS spaceship. And you do play one of these countless creatures who've been, genetically engineered and created for one purpose, which is to shovel coal into the furnace that powers the ship. So here you can see you've just been birthed. You're birthing pod. You're taken to the learn zone. Kind of taught the basics of the game. This has all been redesigned for the most part. But you can see you kind of swipe in the direction that you'd like to jump. And the game starts out by throwing you down into this coal pit. And you are told to coal. And the way that you coal is you walk over to the left side of the screen, you grab a chunk of coal, take it over to the right side, throw it in the furnace, and then you start all over. And it gradually gets faster and faster. You can't knock into the other guys or you get zapped. But that's basically it. That's the entire game. Except unless this little vent over here catches your eye and you whack it, you climb in. And it's supposed to be a big revelatory moment. Oh, this isn't just a game about coal shoveling. Explore this whole ship. And it looks a lot more like a spaceship now. Trust me. I was doing all this art, this prototype. But as you can see, you can kind of use your acrobatic moves to run up walls. You can find a big fan. You can jump some more walls. And you use that to explore the ship. So we kind of dump the players into this area. We don't really tell them what their goal is exactly. We just let them explore for a little while. If you go to the next slide. One thing they're going to find is a bunch of enemies that are trying to kill them. So if you play this video. Now the way the combat basically works is you kind of jump up to these flying enemy guys, whack them on the head, and then you can jump off their dead, murdered body as it falls to the ground toward these other robot guys, and then also whack them on the head. So a big part of the combat will be stringing together these airborne combos, jumping off the wall, the ceilings, hitting all these guys. You can see some other enemies that we've started to work on. So yeah, a big part of the artist's job that we need will be to breathe life into these enemies, so the players can then take that life by murdering the enemy. And the other big thing you're going to find on the ship, besides robots trying to kill you, is all these diverse cast of characters. Lots of other little clones who've escaped the slave room, and they're all kind of hiding out on the ship. It's through talking to them you'll find out that nobody really knows where the ship is going or why it's going there. They're all trying to scrape together food to survive. You also need to find some food to survive. There's a survival element to this. And the big part of the game will be interacting and meeting these people. You will always have the choice to to either kill every character in the game and take their food, or talk to them, befriend them. They probably won't give you all their food, but they might give you a little bit. So you can make it to the end of the game by killing every character and taking all their food. But we're designing it so it's a more rich, more fulfilling experience if you take the time to meet these characters and get acquainted with their life. So these are just a couple of the characters we're working on. See, there's some of the redone animations for the main character, and we've been focusing on concept stuff over the summer and character designs. We're about to start moving into animating this big cast of characters. We just started on that this week. So we could go on. So I'm going to show you just a brief prototype dialogue of one of the kind of minor characters. Imagine you just burst on this guy's house. Oh, hello. I almost didn't see you with beautiful muscles. How are you doing? Labor's hungry. Your muscles sure look hungry. Hungry for muscles. Where'd you get those muscles? A very small muscle store? Haha. Laughing at yourself, your dignity must be as small as your muscles. What was that? Yeah, so that's just a taste of the amazing sense of humor that you will find in this game. I'm writing all the dialogue. You can go on. So our art style, what are we shooting for? As I said, Adventure Time is a big reference. We like how imaginative and sometimes really creepy it can get. In addition to that, the graphic novel Rice Boy, it's kind of obscure, but we really like how there's this melancholy, subdued feeling to it. Mostly has to do with the color palette. This is a dark comedy. We want kind of that, dark tone to it. Wario Land Shake It, it was a Wii game. We're using this as a reference, mostly for its animation style. If you play the game, you can see the main character, the Wario sprite. He's really animated more as if he was like a character in a 2D movie. And that's kind of one of our goals. We want this game to look more like a 2D cartoon than a video game, really, while still fulfilling all the functionality that video game art needs to. And the last reference is the two recent 2D Rayman games. We're just really impressed with how beautiful they can make 2D art. So, what do we need? 2D animators is the big thing. We have a lot of characters in this game, and we want them to have we really want them to come to life. So we want them to do more than just stand there. We want them to walk around their rooms, interact with you, different animations for them. 2D artists, we could use another concept artist or two, as well as if you don't know animation that well, we can have you do more static assets that we need in the game, such as level pieces, backgrounds, stuff like that. We also need 3D artists. There's a sequence in the game, kind of late in the game, where we do need some 3D models. We'd like a 3D model of the main character that we can rig to move around. So if you are interested in 3D, you could also use 2D. So you might be wondering, you can go on to the next slide. We're trying to trick people into thinking this is just a game about shoveling coal until the big surprise, how are we going to get people interested enough to play the game? So we created this commercial.
Is your lab anonymous?
Yes.
How about routine?
Yeah.
Well, meet Cole, the perfect companion to the dull repetitive. In Cole, he plays an alien slave. Bring Cole from one side of the room to the other. Then start alone. Cole is monotonous. Worked with nothing unexpected or surprising at all.
Nothing?
Game person Agatha says, no surprising twist or turns. Exactly what it says it is.
It's just like my terrible life. Thanks, Cole.
Cole, play Cole today. A simple Cole shuffling simulator. That's all it is.
Thank you. I have a lot of little cards that say Cole and have my email on them. I'll put them by those other flyers. So I'm Alan. That's my email. Thank you very much.
Questions?
Any questions?
Right. Who's next?